Stephen Lynch from Massachusetts and Republican Congressman Michael Burgess from Texas. And I'm going to start in Washington. Is there a way forward at this point?
I think there is. We just have to stay at it. Now, Congress is now recessed until after Christmas, which is disappointing, but we have to get to a point where we have offer and counteroffer so that we can count heads and figure out when and on what basis we will get consensus here. And that's troubling that the Speaker was not able to convince his own members to support his Plan B.
I don't want to get too political. I just want to try to see if we can, in the next 5 minutes while we're on the set, figure out a way to actually move forward. In terms of just going through the permutations, what's the next step, if there is one at all, pre-Christmas?
Well, I think what we'll have to do is figure out what level, whether it's above 250,000 or I've also heard numbers back and forth, 400,000, where the tax cuts would actually go away. Now, the problem is that so many of my Republican colleagues have taken a pledge not to let that happen, and so that's difficult. What we'll have to do is figure out where that line is that will give us 218 votes to get this passed through the House. And that's going to require some back and forth.
Congressman Burgess, where's that line?
I don't know. The interesting thing is this whole scenario is a result. It's the president's making. A bill he signed 2 years ago to extend the Bush tax cuts for 2 years that expires December 31st, and a bill he signed in August of 2011 that created the sequester. So this is all occurring at the president's hand. And remember, in that third debate, he said that he would prevent it from happening.
I watched the same press conference I imagine you watched. I saw Boehner come out, say that he had a Plan B. Sounded as if he thought that his party was behind him, and apparently they were not.
Well, there is a process difficulty. You go down to a room at the White House and negotiate these things without the Congress there, and leaving the legislative branch out of the equation, and it's sometimes hard to make that work. There have been whips and leaders in the past who've been able to, but this week it wasn't to be so.
Should he be the Speaker?
Well, he is the Speaker. That's actually not a negotiable point. He is the Speaker.
The same thing happened on the TARP vote. Nancy Pelosi was not able to get her caucus together, too.
But what does this say? Is this say more about Boehner, or does this say more about your party, sir?
No, I think it says more about the president, the absolute invisibility of the presidency these last 2 weeks while all this discussion was going on. The president has the obligation to work with the Congress to make this happen, and it has not been there. Mr. Lynch, you know he has not been down to your caucus to talk, and he certainly hasn't been to ours.
With all due respect, we have had communications with the president. The president does have a consensus around his proposal. He does have a consensus from 250,000 and above. He also may have enough votes for 400,000 and above. He's got the consensus, and he's got the ideas. He just doesn't have the votes. Mr. Boehner has got the majority, but he can't get his members to support his own proposal. So the president and the Democrats are much further along in this towards a compromise than my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, with all due respect to my friends from Texas.
Well, in fact, the problem is not solved, Mr. Lynch, and you know that very well. Harry Reid has a bill over in the Senate that the House passed in August to extend the current tax policy for an additional year. He could take that up and pass it, and it could all be taken care of.
That's the kick the can down the road approach.
Gentlemen, it's become much easier on January 1st. On January 1st, if taxes go up on everyone, is there a clear consensus where everyone comes together and says that we have to do something to lower taxes, at least on some portion of the population?
I think so.
The fact of the matter is the Obamacare taxes kick in that day, too. So there is going to be a significant shock to the system in the American economy because of the policies the president has pursued. Remember, these are all things he has signed into law.
Okay, real quick before you guys go, Congressman Burgess, are you going on vacation?
No, absolutely not. We're told to expect to be back here within 48 hours of the Speaker's call, and if I can get a flight home, I'll go to Texas for a day or two, but that's it.
Congressman Lynch?
We should not be recessing. We should stay right here and keep working.
Are you staying right there?
I live in Boston, so I'm an hour away. I can be here in 2 hours. So as soon as the Speaker reconvenes the session, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to wish both
and I'm willing to stay.
I'm going to wish both of you gentlemen a happy holidays, but I hope